Backpack number 2 of the backpack series. This is the Osprey Momentum 30, so it's 30 liters. It's an interesting bag. I took this one on my last trip to Europe. So I had an Osprey bag, and then I had this. So this had my camera, my computer, all my electronics, my phone, chargers, blah, 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 blah. There's a couple of issues that I have with this bag, and this isn't to dissuade anyone, this is just my review of the bag. So up at the top here, the straps aren't directly attached to the back of the backpack. They're attached to sort of like a U-shape thing. And for me, this would cut into the back of my back, like the top between where my neck and my back meet. And it was really, really uncomfortable because I was carrying a lot in this backpack. I mean, especially when I was going to Iceland, I just brought this backpack, so this had everything in it. I left all the rest of my stuff in Dusseldorf, and so it just made it really uncomfortable. I think it would have been a lot better if, like my old North Face backpack, it had just, you know, the straps directly connected to the back. In terms of breathability, fantastic. It has the sort of mesh net, and then it has a waffle thing. It too has the chest buckle with a whistle and the hip buckle. The hip buckle on this one doesn't have the same sort of hip bone padding that the Recon did, so that's sort of a minus for it. It does have the same loops. I have noticed that their reflectiveness tears off a lot easier than North Face's did. So that was kind of disappointing to see that. On the right shoulder, it has this little bag, and I put, it has, wait, did I do that? Or did I do that? I did that. No, they did that. Okay, so what they've done is they have, I guess people would call it a card tag or something, so you can put your keys on it, and it has a little loop inside here. So you put it on the loop, and then you put your card or your key on it. Because it has a key ring, I can't put my card in on it unless I went and bought one of those clips. So it's only really useful for something that I can put around. So like my hostel room cards couldn't go on this, so that's not entirely useful. It's not that big. You could probably put a couple dollars in it or something, but okay, onto the front. This one does have its own rain shell in the bottom, which I guess is useful if you really need it. I never used it. To me, it was kind of a useless extra thing that was just taking up space at the bottom, because it takes up space at the bottom. Instead of this bag having these side holsters, as I call them, it has these kind of just weird side pockets, and because they zip all the way down, I never trusted it to hold anything like a water bottle, because they're very deep, and unless I zipped it up, I couldn't trust that it would hold anything, and even then, if it got pulled, the zipper would just come down. So I don't know if you could see that, but if I'm just pulling the two pieces of fabric apart, the zipper just opens. So I never trusted it to hold anything unless it was always zipped. So that was sort of a pretty big con for me. I really didn't like that. On the bottom, it has another lip and another bigger lip. It does not have the straps, so I couldn't roll up a jacket or anything and put them in there. It has, the front has this, you know, pocket like the North Face does. It's a little more sturdy in its fabric, which is great. But I also, it's a lot smaller. So again, negative. This front pocket, like the North Face has some partitioning in it, and then you can just shove stuff in it, which, okay, cool. It does have these side, I don't know what they're called, whatevers, that you can, you know, tighten and possibly put a jacket in. The reason why I don't like putting jackets in these is as you walk, you know, you're hitting the ground, and unless this is very tight or you have somewhere else to shove it, you know, the article of clothing is going to continue to bounce down as well. So you could lose a shirt or a jacket because you didn't tighten it tight enough, or it wouldn't go tight enough. I mean, honestly, it won't go tight enough for me to be honestly secure that it will hold something without compromising the rest of the bag's functionality. So that wasn't, these were useless to me, except maybe to hang stuff on. It has this front clip thing that's supposed to be a bicycle helmet clip. I don't know if you can see it. Didn't have a bike. Wasn't useful to me. All right, so then you have the medium pocket, and in the medium pocket you have a front zipper pocket, which has this mesh, and then you have just the big bucket, as it were, and then you have these netted mesh smaller pockets so you can like partition things, and it goes down pretty far. It's a pretty big, you know, space. And then it also has a laptop and or tablet sleeve. Not as padded, not as protected, still has a clip. And then this back space, again, the zipper doesn't go down very far, which isn't incredibly useful to me, but this isn't meant for your actual like laptop. So this is where the back padding is, and then you have another mesh zipper pocket. All in all, it holds a lot, but there's just too many cons to it for me to actually like use it all the time. So that's the Osprey Momentum 30 liter.